Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Motivational Mornings. It's great to see you all. I hope you're well. And this morning we're doing our journal making. So I've got some examples to show you. What you'll need is some card, some scissors, some glue, a needle and a thread, and then other things to embellish on. And scraps of paper from round the house. I've been cutting up loads of scraps sort of on bits of paper where I've half written on it. You can use that, take some of the scraps off. Don't throw anything away. It's a great way to use up stuff this morning. So I wanted to show you first a few little journals that I've been making. So this one says Hope is Strong, and I've just used magazines to embellish it. Another one was one I bought at Artcore. I bought two actually at Artcore to give as presents, as I think before I worked there must have been a journaling workshop, and these are lovely. These are leather. It's obviously an offcut of leather, and what I love about this is they've used up lovely bits of music paper. It's got a bit of a map. But if you're doing a bit of journaling where you glue in things and sketchbook onto, although the pages are filled, you could put different things on there. You could put pictures in there and notes. So I love this, and it also links in with, I don't know if you've seen Marie Hegarty's session yesterday with the blackout poetry. You could include that in your sketchbook where you've got a line of text and you circle and colour out the rest of the words so that you've got a poem. So I think, oh look, there's some words there, so you could do that with that. They've used a bit of tracing paper in here. So there's really any scrap, and there's a black one as well, in leather as well. So leather's a really nice thing to use. I'm going to use card today because we're working with what we've got around the house already. But also I want to talk to you quickly just about how important journaling is. If you're a creative person, it's a way of getting the thoughts from your head down on paper and ordering those thoughts. And I do that a lot. I'm a bit obsessed with moleskin sketchbooks, but as now I've discovered how to make our own, I'll probably make my own from now on. This is one I did when I went on a course, and this was about creating an ecology of hope and different ways. And when I'm recording stuff, I think this was a church one I did. I get bored if I just sit and have to write notes, so it's a great way of taking notes as well when you're in important talks. I think that one was about beauty, and just having pages where you can really sketch out. That one's about abundance, things in abundance. So you've probably heard about bullet journaling as well. That was a Sheffield festival I was putting on. So bullet journaling's a way of keeping notes and tabs of what you're up to each day and goals and writing bullets. That doesn't work for me so much. I'm more of a freestyler. So it's up to you sort of how you keep your notes and how you use your journals. Nikki Dennett, who's on this afternoon doing her printmaking crafternoon session, is a fantastic journaler, and her journals are beautiful. They're works of art in themselves. And in her artist takeover session, she did talk a bit about what she did and how her process of keeping journals. And also when we're back at Artcore, you can pop into the shop to look at people's journals. Bring your own journal that you've been doing in. There's lots of inspiration, things you might be sketching or writing or thoughts. So let's get started. Let's see how long we've got. Right, we've got 15 minutes to get a little book done. So let me move my books out of the way. So I'm going to do a bit of a Blue Peter style. because I've got some things pre-prepared. But I found lots of paper that was left over from our wedding. All the thank you note paper. We're still sending thank you notes out, but I'm going to use some really nice thick inscription paper. I don't know if you can see the quality of that, but it's got a bit of a grain on it. That's nice. So I'm going to use a piece of that. We've got some of this gold left over as well. That was what we made our wedding invitations out of. So I'm going to put a bit of gold in. So a bit of inscription paper, a bit of gold. I think I'm going to put a bit of, we've got some cream card that I've found around the house. So I'm going to use a bit of cream, this nice quality cream card. I think get different textures, so thinner. That one's quite thin, that one's a bit thicker, that one's thicker in itself. If you're making a sketchbook that's going to have notes, pictures, words, poems, things that you stick in, you want it to have a variety of thicknesses of paper. So make it a variety of different textures. I think this one we've made up, and it's got texture paper in as well. So go creative, don't just do a lined sketchbook. I mean, you can if you want, but I challenge you to think outside the box a bit today with what you're doing. So I'm going to move the camera down so you can see. Ooh, there we go. That wasn't very professional, was it? There we go. Let me put something behind it to hold it in place. There we go. So I'm going to put something under my cutting board so you can see what I'm doing. So you want to decide what your cover's going to be. So I've just hunted out some thicker card. You'd want your cover to be thicker than the rest of your book, I think. So we've got all these coloured papers here. I've got a glut of purples. I think a lovely lady called Mary Mallon's given us some craft materials for Artcore, so I thought I'd open them to see if I could use one for today's session. I think we'll go with that nice purple. It's got, if you can see, it's got some leaves and things pressed into it. So that's going to be my front cover. So what you want to do is bend that over and then do a nice sharp line down the centre. Maybe use your nail to really crease it. I've just realised I've got red nail varnish on and it kind of dyes anything that I'm creasing, so just be aware of what you can use a ruler to do that. So you could run a ruler along the edge as well to make it nice and creased. So that's going to be my front cover. So let's have a look. So I've took all the different papers that I've just shown you, and I've cut them to this sort of size so that they're going to fit inside. You kind of want your papers to sit a bit inside of the cover. You want there to be a little bit of a gap, so that the paper's protected. So that's so I think that size is perfect. Whatever size you're going for, it doesn't need to be a standard size when you make your own book. That's the genius about it. And I realised I need my cup of tea with me this morning as well. It's my monster mug of motivation to keep me going through this session. A cup of tea in the morning is a good thing. So yeah, you can go any size. So sort of that, it's not a standard size. I think for this book though, I wanted to do something a little bit different than I've done before, and I wanted to add some envelopes in. I had all these little mini envelopes left from our, I don't know what they were from thank you cards, and I thought, oh, if I can fit those in, it means when I'm out and about making a sketch, when I'm writing into my sketchbook, I might find a leaf that I like and I could pop it in the envelope. It might be that I find a little ticket stub or something that's meaningful, and I can pop it in the envelope inside the book. So I've just seen Ray. Hello Ray, how are you? Nice to see you this morning. So I am actually standing in for the lovely Rachel Giles, as she's an author who's going to be doing next Thursday's session on living on vacation. She's just published her book, and it's the big book festival next weekend, so it ties in very well. So we've swapped it all about today, so you've got to put up with me this morning. But I thought you'd enjoy this. So let's have a look at, we've got 10 minutes, so I want you to get cutting. So cut out your outside piece. You can use your scissors to do it, or you can use, I've got a ruler and a scalpel and a cutting mat. So however's best for you to do it. So I've got all those things. If you're using a scalpel, use a metal ruler. Don't use a plastic one, because I did that and it just wrecks your ruler. So use a metal one where possible. So I have my Blue Peter style. Here's one I did earlier. There we go. And what I've put lots of different types of paper into this. I want to add in some of this nice inscription paper that I've just done. So let me add that in. I'd say probably you want about 10 little sheets of paper. So 10. So it's going to make your book about 20 sheets. I'd say that's probably a good amount for being able to sew it as a small book that you can take with you. Let me just put, I've got another one of these inscriptions, and I thought I'd do a little bit of a giveaway today just to keep our spirits up. So the giveaway is whoever, after the session, it has to be after the session, if you send us a message on the Artcore page to say that you've watched this morning's Motivational Morning and you put your address in it, I will send this make out to you this morning. So you will get that as a gift. So the first person to do that, it has to be after the session at 11:20. If you send us a message and just say that you've watched the Motivational Morning, you will get this in the post. I will post it out to you as soon as possible. So so there you go. What more could you want on this slightly cold and rainy day? So I've put my book together there. So I've got all my pages in. So there's a mixture there of plain pages and the lined pages. And I'm going to really crisply, I want you to really crisply fold that. Maybe, I say the optimum is probably 8 to 10 pages. So now you need a needle and thread, and I have got some embroidery thread. I'm from Liverpool and we don't tend to pronounce our THs, so I always say Fred, like the weatherman Fred. But there we go. So I don't know why that is. We've got a funny accent over there. A lovely accent, the Scouse. I'm a bit Lancastrian. Lancaster? No, Lancashire. I'm a Lancashire mix. And in Lancashire they say woolly backs, and in Liverpool they say Scousers. So I used to get called a woolly Scouse, which is a funny term. And then I lived in Yorkshire, so I don't know what that makes me. So but I've got some embroidery thread, and I'm just gonna untwirl it. So I'm gonna take, it's in 6, so I'm gonna take three of the threads. Just makes it stronger than using, you can use normal, you can use your normal cotton, but if you've got this, so you need quite a longish length. I'm going to cut it there, and I'm going to put this together. So what you want to do, and I've got a larger eyed needle as well. Don't know if you can see that. Slightly larger eye, it's my embroidery needle. Embroidery keeps me out of trouble. I'll show you what I've been up to actually. I've been doing lots of these samplers. About 5 people have had babies while we're in isolation, so I keep putting samplers together and putting the baby's name in with the embroidery. So that's been fun. So it's quite a cheap present as well. We got the hoops for £1 and I'm just using scraps from around the house. So that's been fun. So you want to double knot your thread at the end, and then I'm not going to double it over, so I'm going to leave a bit like that, so that it's nice and thin when it goes through. And then you're going to choose, actually with some of the paper and it's a bit thick, so I'm going to take just a few pages out. You'll get a feel of how much embroidery thread can go through, and I'm going to just put with a pencil, I'm going to make 3 dots of where I'm going to go through. So you want a dot either side, probably 1 centimetre-ish in, and then 1 in the middle, and that's going to be your guidance. So I'm going to go through that way, like that, and then in the middle, you'll see. And this is so addictive. Now I've made them, I keep making them, so everyone for their birthdays and their Christmases will get a handmade book. So, and then I'm going to go through again. So it's quite sharp at the end, so just if you've got a thimble, that would be a good one. So I'm going to go like that. I'm going to go in again, like that. It's really simple sewing today. So I'm going to go through again, like that. Right, so that's sewn it together, but I want to sew it onto the outside piece. So again, you want your dots on your outside piece in the same place. I'm going to just do it by eye because I'm being lazy. But you want your dots, so you're going to sew it. So you've got your book together like that, and I'm going to sew through like that. It might sit, you just want to make sure it's sitting in the right place. So let's have a look. Yeah, so it's sitting in the right place inside the book, and then we're going to go into the middle again. You want to come through the hole that you've created in the middle. So you might need to adjust it just a little bit. Let's have a look. Great. So you come through. There's lots of different ways of doing bookbinding. This is a really simple way. There's lots more elaborate ways. There's lovely courses that people run. There's a fantastic bookbinder I know in Sheffield called Heather Dewick. I don't know if she's watching this today, but Heather does some beautiful work, and she made me a book for our family history. My dad's gone back 300 years with our family history, and she's made a lovely, lovely book for us out of special paper that you can do the traditional calligraphy on, and out of red leather with his name on. And I cut out of brass a lovely oak tree, and she's managed to inlay the oak tree into the leather, and it's absolutely stunning. And we made an oak box for the book to sit in, and now and then we've inlaid the brass onto the box, so the book sits in. And there's something really special about books. I don't know, while we use the internet and put everything online, there's something really nice about having something tangible, isn't there? So I've just tied it off at the top in a knot, and I'm going to cut that. And I'm going to just jazz this up a little bit before we finish. How are we doing for time? We're a little bit over time, so I'm going to show you. So that's our book finished. So that's fantastic. So it's got all our pages in. But I'm going to put some little special treats in, and whoever messages us after the session, I'll put some little bits in. So I've got a little envelope I've already embellished with a little gold leaf for them to put their special bits and pieces in. You might want to put a bit of ribbon around the edge as well. So I've got some lovely different ribbons. There's a purple fluffy one there. I might use a thicker ribbon, but I'll just show you what that looks like. Let's have a look. So there we go, we've got some ribbon. So you want to find your centre page and put your ribbon in. And that just, if you've got ribbon, it just covers over where you've bound it. I think I'll use probably a thicker piece of ribbon just to finish it off. And then obviously go wild. We've only had 20 minutes, but you can really embellish it. I think put some little envelopes in to collect all your nice little bits. I do machine sewing onto paper. So you can machine sew onto paper and then glue that on. This was a cutout one that I did of a stencil. So go wild. Opportunities are endless, and enjoy. And I'd love to see some of your finished journals. It'd be great. And also don't forget, if you send us a message on the Artcore page, I'll post out today's make to whoever gives us a message first, as a little bit of inspiration to cheer you up today, on our time in isolation. Lovely to see you all, and don't forget to watch our Crafternoon at 1 PM with Nikki Dennett. Bye.